far, the coalition has focused exclusively on military targets. And we are honored now to be joined by Congressman Tim Griffin, who, of course, represents the 2nd District here in Arkansas. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's jump right to it. Let's first talk about Libya. I mean, the U.S. has constantly, or consistently, I should say, been at war for the past 10 years with a number of different countries. But this is actually like the first time we're taking a back seat. In fact, now the U.S. is insisting a handoff command to the Libyan crisis that's going on. NATO is one option. But you're a veteran. Do you think that Obama is taking the right course of action by taking this backseat approach to it?
Well, he's saying that we're taking a backseat, but a lot of these unique capabilities, as he's described them, are capabilities that only we have. And so I think it remains to be seen how that will work. I can tell you, though, a lot of folks in the Congress, both parties, both the House and the Senate, are a bit frustrated. I think we need more information from the president. There's something called the War Powers Resolution, where the president's supposed to consult with the Congress, and when we do something like this and go to war, we're supposed to do it together as a country. And I think that folks in Congress are looking to the president for a lot more information on the scope of the mission, what we're doing there. And if you look back at the last president, President Bush sought a use of force resolution before he went to war in Iraq and Afghanistan. And that's generally the way this works. And so I think if you look at the comments on Capitol Hill, you'll see some concern. So I think we need more communication. We need more information, which I hope we'll be getting.
Okay. Let's talk oil and gas prices. We know that since the conflict began in Libya, they've slowly risen. Of course, in Central Arkansas, it's fallen a bit in the past week, but still higher, of course, than last year. Tapping the strategic oil reserve, is that a good idea now, or is it too early? Chevron says no, don't do it, we don't need it, but what do you think?
Well, that is there for absolute emergencies, and that's why it's called strategic. And I think that we ought to save that for absolute emergencies. Ultimately, we are not going to be able to get relief as a country unless we are more energy independent. And a lot of people talk about energy independence, but then they want to exclude this or they want to exclude that. We need to be drilling here in the United States. We have a lot of natural resources. If we don't drill, others are going to drill. And I think that we can do it cleaner and more efficiently, and those are lots of American jobs, including natural gas.
Congress has yet to, reach an agreement on funding the government through the rest of the fiscal year. Another extension just passed recently to get us through April. Congress also, later this year, has to approve a fiscal budget for the following year.
Sure.
In the eyes of the people, the voters out there, they're kind of taking a backseat going, hey, what's going on up there? Why the delays? Why can't we get this thing nailed down and accomplished?
Quickly, it is complicated mess. But quickly, what happened is the Congress last year did not pass the spending bills. Because of that, they passed us a continuing resolution just to keep things at a steady pace the way they were. When we came into office, we knew that the deadline for that continuing resolution to end was in March. So we had to deal with that. So we're struggling to get something passed to fund the government, but we want cuts. We want to have a more reasonable plan for spending for the federal government. Not because we want to do it just for the sake of it, but because we believe if we don't get the debt under control, then this country is not going to be the innovative, job-creating leader that it historically has. You're right. The budget is for next year and 10 years, next year and beyond. And that is something that the Budget Committee is working on. But we've got to get this funding for this year. We got to get that behind us. That takes us through September. I think the big point of contention is, though, we don't want to pass that unless we get some serious reductions in spending to start getting our country back on the path to a sustainable future. It's really important that we do that. And it's going to be interesting to see when we get back up there if we can work out some kind of deal. We need to, and it's critical for job creation. We've got to deal with the debt.
And very quickly, Nuclear One, of course, just outside your district line in near Russellville. But what lessons can be learned, if any, from what's happening right now in Japan with their nuclear crisis that we could apply here? Or are we pretty well prepared already?
Well, I would say, first of all, and there was a good article on this last week, a lot of our nuclear power plants are built to withstand significant shocks and are not like the ones in Japan. Specifically, the one that we have here in Arkansas, we were assured it's not in the same situation as the one in Japan. But having said that, I think it is prudent to look at all of the ones that we have across the country, make sure all the redundant programs that keep them running, and if something fails, something else backs up. Make sure all of that is working. And my understanding is that's what the Department of Energy is doing across the country to make sure that we're in good stead.
We hit you with a lot. We appreciate your time,
Thank you all.
Congressman. And
Thank you.
Stay in touch.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.